Hello and welcome to this month's Gnosis drawing video. So this month drawing video was a little interesting. I wanted to try and do something with more color in it. Try and work kind of balancing that out with kind of some of the new settings and stuff that I've been working on that I've alluded to in the past with these drawings. I also wanted to take a chance to just do just some kind of a fun animal. I had kind of this funny idea of a animal with like its mane coming down into rings or whatnot that were tied onto some rings and such. So that's kind of what I ended up doing. I can't remember if I recorded the first attempt at designing this animal or not, but I guess it's already passed if I recorded it or not, so there you go. So some other fun stuff in here I wanted to try is working a bit more with kind of depth in the environment, distances and such, and so we'll kind of see. I'll have like two different mountain ranges in there with some different structures and things on them, and kind of playing around with the blur effect on that. But we'll see that much later. So that's kind of some stuff that went along in with this drawing. Kind of a cavalry. I think this one was called a Makitsui Beastmaster. But I guess it's a little less Beastmaster, a little more mounted cavalry of a kind. With how it ended up being done. I did do a AI portion of it in the testing when I was trying to come up with ideas and such of kind of what this could look like, and I don't think I recorded those results because they really weren't what I was looking for. So that just ended up being, again, kind of another incident of AI helping me rapidly prototype and find out the direction I don't want to go with this. So that was a very helpful moment there. So going back, I have taken some note of some stories that's happened over the last few months I thought I'd like to talk about and share for fun. So this one happened a few months back at this point. I can't remember when, but my family were on vacation, visiting my grandparents, and so we went to their church, and kind of after the meeting, my dad, this is the church ward he grew up in, so he likes to stay around and talk with all his old friends and people that he remembers. So while we're just standing around waiting, I look across the chapel and I see this cute girl, and I thought, she's cute, and I'm trying to see her fingers, like can't tell if she's married or not, and doesn't look like she is. So I go to my mom, I'm like, hey, that girl over there, how old do you think she is? She's looking at, she's like, oh, maybe mid-20s or something? Like, okay, well, all right, I don't know her, and of course my mom doesn't know her, so we go to my grandma, and I'm like, hey, Grandma, do you know who this is? And she looks at her and she goes, I don't think she's in a ward. We had a missionary who had returned home that day in their ward, and so his extended family was there to listen to his homecoming talk. And so she doesn't know who it is. So figures, well, she must be part of this missionary's extended family. So we've kind of been following her little family group as they've moved from the chapel to the foyer to the outside, trying to figure out who this is. So we then kind of like re-huddle up with my grandpa. For some reason we decided to ask him if I should talk to her or whatnot. My grandpa just goes, well, I say go for it. So we hinged it on the guy who has been out of the game the longest. Of course, he's been married the whole time, which means he knew how to pick pretty good. So I said, all right, well, I figured, well, what's the worst can happen? I don't live here. She doesn't live here, so I'll just go and ask for a number to talk. So I walk out to where her and her family is, and I introduced myself with my actual name. I said, I saw you today and thought you were kind of cute and wondering if you wanted to trade numbers and talk. And turns out she's standing there with her mom, and mom goes, "Oh, she's still in high school." I'm like, oh, well, I hope the rest of the day goes better than this did, and just turned around and left. So yeah, so that's about how well that went, and explains just kind of my inability to, well, I won't say my inability to properly identify people, but I had 2 other people with me who couldn't tell how old she was or who she was either. So that was just, I guess, a real embarrassing moment. Walking away, seeing my reflection in the glass doors, thinking, boy, do I look like a fat weirdo. So yeah, that wasn't a real good confidence booster. Great story though, out of it. So while that ended in complete failure, there was something else that did happen over the last few months that didn't end, at least so far, in complete failure. So last year, talked about how my dog for like 16 years almost or whatnot, Kita, she finally passed away. And in many respects, it's not entirely, it's like the hole that was left never really got filled. Necessarily. I mean, we've kind of just gotten used to it being empty. But we decided that decided I was done with it being empty, so decided to get a dog. And so got a new dog. Her name is Kisu. I adopted her from the Humane Society. She's about 1 year old. And the Humane Society paperwork says that she's a German Malamute mix. It's easy to see the German Shepherd in her. She looks very much like a German Shepherd. I'm not sure about the Malamute. I'll put up a picture of her kind of when I got her and how it's going now into this video if you want to see her. But yeah, she's a very sweet dog. Very long tail, like her tail will reach the ground and such. So we didn't really tell anyone in my family that I was getting her. As I keep saying my mom helped pick her out. And it was kind of her idea really that I needed to have a dog. Just someone that could be my friend. So I brought her home. And it's just kind of fun just having people come over and see this dog I wasn't told about. My youngest sister is great. She comes back home one day and sees her, and she's like, "What is that? What is that?" As this small little dog is looking at her. Now, I say small. I'm supposed to give an idea of. I consider her small. So like Kita was probably like 90 to 100 something pounds. I forget how tall she was, but she was a pretty tall dog, big, heavy dog. So for Kisu, who is 45 to 40 pounds, she is very small. So that's been so in my mind, she's very small. Once again, kind of looking at the pictures, I mean, I have no problem. I could carry Kita, and I have no problem carrying Kisu at all. She's just like a toddler to me. But yeah, so that's so she was quite a surprise. My sister, my second sister, the writer, she was very excited to hear about me getting a dog, and came over and met her because she had a German Shepherd too last year. His name was Berlin, and he was a rescue. He was far older when she got him, and he died at the start of last year. So last year was real rough for us dogs. But so she was excited to come in, meet another German Shepherd, and her son, the swimmer. I forgot what I gave his code name as. Fish Boy, maybe. He loved Berlin, and so he loves Kisu, just chasing her around and playing with her and such. He has no fear of her whatsoever. And then my first brother, I think his code name was Fluffy Head. His wife and daughter, Hair Muncher, I remember her code name. The daughter's Hair Muncher, not the wife, came over. And she was super excited to see the dog. She loves Scooby-Doo, and so she was excited to see a dog. She's still a little shy around Kisu. I'm not quite used to how animals are in that they like to come up and smell you and such. But yeah, there's no way she was going to keep quiet from my brother and surprise her. I mean, surprise him. So, you know, I can't remember how it happened, but, you know, came home and it's like Grandma got a dog. So that was so he knew that's how he found out I had a dog. And then my second brother, Albino Chimp, he's out of state with his family, so he did a FaceTime call with my parents once, him and the grandkids, to do a just FaceTime chat. And so while they're talking, I come up with the dog and they take the camera, flip around, and he looks at it and goes, "What's that you got there? Is that a dog?" So yeah, so him and his family haven't gotten to properly meet her yet, but they were surprised to see her. But yeah, so Kisu, she's a very, very good dog. Just in general, kind of her backstory is she came from a household with way too many dogs, and the family couldn't take care of her, so she was a willing surrender. They told us, and we don't know what was going on at the Humane Society. I mean, it's great that we got her from there, but I do not like the Humane Society. So kind of her profile said that, oh, she's very shy, but once she gets used to you, you know, she likes belly rubs and such. So when we go to do the meeting of her, they bring her in immediately. Kisu, she was going by a different name at that time. So I did name her Kisu. In case you couldn't tell, it's a name that means absolutely nothing and sounds derivative of stuff, which is kind of how I name things. She immediately ran up to me and started wanting pets and kisses and hugs and such. And so it's like, well, she doesn't seem very shy. But whenever this one worker would come by, Kisu would try and hide behind me, hide under the chairs and different things like that. And it wasn't like it's just all the Humane Society workers, because other of the workers would come by and she would go and sniff the gate or whatnot to see who they were. But just whenever this one would come by, she would go and hide. So it's like, what's going on? What are you doing to the dogs? So we decided to get her. She was a very, very quick, loving choice. Brought her home, and they told her she was in good health. She was not in good health. She was severely underweight. So like I said, 46 to 40 pounds is what the paperwork told us. And we later took her to a vet, which I'll explain why in a bit. And they weighed her at 40 pounds, so kind of hence what gave us the range. But you could feel her spine, her hip bones and such. She was very underweight. She also had a cough. It's a kind of a cough. She would sneeze a lot and throw up a lot. And she just stressed trying to get used to a new home or whatnot. But it didn't really seem to be the case, because she wasn't having any problem sleeping. She was having a problem eating. She did not like the kibble they gave us, so I went and got some different kibble, and she was just fine just chomping that right down. And one day she threw up maybe 4 or 5 times in one day, and okay, this is a big problem. So took her to the vet, and they checked her out, and because it was an emergency at that point, So they were able to wiggle us in there in between appointments, and so it ended up being like a 4-hour visit at this vet, which I sat on the ground with her and just kind of petted her, played with her, kept her calm during the whole time and stuff. And we were worried about her being sick and having like kennel cough or something, and so we had to use like the side door, and I just carried her in and out of the place. Like I said, she weighed nothing, but it's kind of funny. One of the nurses who helped us, when I got out of the car and came around and was carrying her, she's like, oh, she was just thought that she was the cutest thing ever. And yes, Kisu's a very cute dog, as you probably saw in the picture there. But so sat on the ground with her the whole time, and the vet was I mean, she was nice, but for some reason kept like, oh, well, I think it might, I don't know. I don't think it's pneumonia, but I want to be sure. So I want to run all these tests and give you this other medication or whatnot. And like, having done the math, it would have been like $1,000 for those things. So in between the visits, I'm like looking up pneumonia symptoms in dogs, and I'm like, she's not displaying any of these symptoms. You can't hear anything on the stethoscope. She doesn't have problems sleeping or curling up or anything like that. So she's not just displaying any of the pneumonia symptoms. So it's like, it's probably like a bacteria or something like that. So just give us some antibiotics and some stuff to make her hungry so she'll put on weight. And so eventually we got that. And we also got the prescription for pneumonia medication, which we did not fill. For some reason, just really insisted on that. It's like, okay, that's weird. But yeah, got her home, gave her medicines for like the 2 weeks or whatever it was. And she's been fine. No coughing or sneezing, no more vomiting. She's put on a lot of weight. She's filled out quite a bit. And is a very energetic and energetic and happy dog. She's fine to sleep throughout the day, but when it's walk time, boy, is she excited. She'll like jump and run around and spin, and so taking her for walks, she's like going just running back and forth over the course of the walk, probably doubles the distance. But yeah, so she's been a very, very good dog so far. And house training wise, it looks like wherever she was at, she was trained pretty well, because she really hasn't had too many accidents in the house. And those that she did have, I think, are less of accidents and more of her just being a booger, that she's upset about something. So it's been a lot of kind of fixing that. I say fixing that up, just clean that up, tell her no, and it really hasn't been a problem. But yeah, so that has been our newest addition to the family of Kisu, and she's been a very, very good dog. So that's just been a nice experience. I guess with her, like I said, it's probably only been like maybe 2 months or so since we got her, and so things are still so. It's like, in many respects, I feel bad. This thing's like, so there's still time for something to go wrong. Yes, there's technically like 15 years of that something could go wrong in that time frame, because I don't have any intention of giving her up anytime soon. It's didn't get her with that in mind. Got her. It's like, nope, this is gonna be her forever home, and so it is. But yeah, so I suppose in many respects, Kisu has ended up like influencing the drawing, because if you've been thinking, well, he got a German Shepherd looking dog, and a Kitsui is riding a big canine looking thing. Yeah, that's kind of I think that did end up being it, that Kisu had a lot of influence on kind of the animal that a Kitsui is riding. Not quite a German Shepherd. It's missing its tail and it's got a mane and such. But yeah, so that's just kind of been the fun little influence reflection on stuff that's been going on in my life that's popped up in the art here. So yeah, so I want to thank you for joining me for this month's drawing video. So I want to quickly give a thanks to the Patreon members who make Gnosis possible. So For this month's on our amazing supporters tier, we have Mom, Iran Reed, and the Animus Seer. So thank you for your support. If you want to get this month's drawing picture that's being done right here, you can go over to the Patreon and pick that up. I do have it for sale if you want to do just a one-time payment, if that's something you prefer. I do have that set up, so you could do that for different drawings. I also have a Patreon exclusive member page if you want to pick that up in addition to this. So yeah, thanks for the support, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day. All right, bye.